everybody. Welcome to this best practices session. I'm here once again with Benjamin Henry, Field CTO at Komprise. And in this series, we've been focused on storage as a service. And we've covered a lot of ground, everything from why storage as a service, what the model is, some of the approaches to take. Ben's been really focused on analytics, analytics, analytics. And today we're going to have an interesting discussion about smart data workflows and detecting sensitive data. So Benjamin, what do you have for us?
Yeah, tying this into software as a service, I'm going to kind of lay out a scenario that'll kind of guide us through the demo that we're going to dive into. So let's just say my leadership has come to me and said, Ben, we're going to be moving our DMZ out to the cloud. Help us get there because we're converting it from a traditional CapEx to an OpEx model, again, storage as a service. So how can I do that it safely and make sure we're not putting data where it shouldn't be? Well, enter smart data workflows. We're going to talk today about PII detection, how you can find sensitive data where it shouldn't be. So realistically, I shouldn't have PII in my DMZ in this scenario that I'm going to lay out. So let's walk through how I can find that. So let me go ahead and switch over here and jump right into our demo. So in here, I'm going to start today with our workflows tab. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit add workflow. Right away, I'm presented with two options. I can start with just specifying my data store, or I can start with a deep analytics query. Well, I want to start with a deep analytics query because I want to be very surgical about how I'm approaching the PII detection. So I'm going to jump into our deep analytics. Deep analytics is where we're going to build these queries for the workflows. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click on new query in data stores. I'm going to drop the data stores down. I'm going to expand the pure FlashBlade because that's my storage appliance I have in the DMZ. And now I can either choose the entire share, or I can, again, be more surgical. My task is to only find potential PII in the IT share because that's the subsection of the DMZ that we're going to migrate. So I can even keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, but I just want to scan the IT folder of the DMZ SMB share. So I'm going to choose that. And now I'm going to say, well, within there, I want specific file types that I want to search for. So these file types I want to look for are documents, logs, mail, text. I want to search these files for potential PII. And I'm going to go ahead and hit run, and then I'll save it. But I've already done that for us. So I'll switch over here. This is my query, potentially 4 million files within that query. So let's jump back to workflows and let's use this query that we've built. So in here, deep analytics, I'm going to choose my DMZ PII scan. That's the query that we just built. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Now I'm going to choose my content scanner type. Well, 3 out of the box today are Amazon Recognition, regex. Regex lets you be as broad or as surgical as you want. But I'm going to use a predefined scanner because I want to search for Visa credit card information specifically. But if I use the built-in predefined PII scanner, I have 68 options I can choose from. So I'm going to come down here to the bottom. I'm going to choose Visa credit card. I'm going to come down here and hit next. Now, when PII is found, I'm going to tag it. Tagging is what's going to help me drive the next decision with this data. So I've pre-built a tag called PII. The value for this tag will be Visa credit card. So if this key pair value exists, I know that piece of data has been tagged as PII, and I need to do something with that later on. Perfect. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Now I have a workflow schedule. Do I want to do it one time, or do I want it to repeat? Well, for the purpose of this scan, I'm going to do it one time, but we'll talk about the repeat. I can choose run it once every hours, days, weeks, months, only on new data or on all data. All options. I'm going to choose one time. I'm going to say start this when I'm done. I'm going to give this a name. So I'm going to say DMZ, PII, Visa, credit card. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And then I get the confirmation screen, which is very similar to many other screens in Komprise. Like, hey, these are all the options you've selected. If there's something you want to change, go back. If you're ready to rock and roll, hit start. So from here, I'm going to hit start workflow. And that's going to start to run. And it's going to scan all that data, and it's going to tag the data if PII is found. So while that's running, let me choose another one of these scans that's already completed to talk about the result sets here. So in a prior PII scan, this is telling me the output of a completed scan of how many files were tagged, how many files were not tagged, if there was any errors, and if there's any data remaining to be processed. And down here, I get even more information about that scan. So again, assuming this scan is done, what do I want to do with it now? Well, if PII was found, I want to get it out of the DMZ. I want to make sure I can migrate that DMZ share without any PII in there. So I would go back into deep analytics and I would build a query that says, find all data tagged with a value of PII, Visa credit card information. Well, I've already pre-built that for us. So I'm going to go to my plan tab now. We've talked about plan before, so I've kind of pre-built and staged a lot of things we've already talked about. So let me edit this one that's specific to the confine feature. Confine says, find something that matches whatever I'm matching and put it all in one landing zone where I can review that to make sure that I truly want to move that data somewhere else. So it's going to take all that data in that share. It's going to put it at the top in a hidden folder where I can then drag that somewhere else where it belongs before I migrate to the share. So I'm going to turn the confine feature on. I'm going to choose my deep analytics query, which we talked about. So this is called DMZ confine. Again, the DMZ confine plan or query says, find me all data that's been tagged with a key pair value of PII and Visa credit card information. So I'm going to choose DMZ confine. I'm going to come up here and say done editing, and I'm going to hit activate. And again, that's going to confine that data so I can extract that and be ready to go to migrate my data to the cloud. So Darren, real simple scenario of talking through how to surgically find PII where it doesn't belong in your environment before you migrate.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ben. That was a great overview and great series. We look forward to working on the next one with you. This has been a pleasure. Thanks everyone for attending.